Today we live in the world of transaction, online transaction, paying through the mobile phone, using a card for a purchase, and we know how the cards do the transaction and how the payments are made. And we live in a world of transaction. As a Christian, we can ask the question, what are the transactions I take on in my spiritual life? Is it just a transaction, point A to point B? Or do we move from transaction to transmission, from transmission to transformation that involves engagement? From transaction, we move to transformation. We see how a butterfly comes from a caterpillar, going through many stages. How people are transformed within. In the process of transformation, we allow God to work in our lives. God works in our lives in a mysterious way. Today, we look for transformative leadership. What transforms our lives? Or are we satisfied just with transaction? Transfiguration calls from transaction to transformation. We need to engage in our spiritual life, in the church, through the sacraments, and by paying attention and listening to the Word of God. May God, in the second Lent, give us the grace to move from transaction to transformation. Transfiguration is the encountering God through prayer. Pope Benedict, in his book An Invitation to Faith, says, Christian faith and ethics do not wish to stifle love, but to make it healthy, strong, and truly free. This is the exact meaning of the Ten Commandments, which are not a series of no's, but a great yes to love and to life. The world promises you comfort, but you are not made for comfort. You are made for greatness. Transfiguration calls us towards transformation and not just transaction. In one of the Lenten blessings, Pope Benedict said, as we continue our Lenten journey towards Easter, may we keep our eyes fixed on Jesus the Redeemer, whose glory was revealed on the Mount of the Transfiguration. The observance of Lent is the very badge of Christian warfare. By it we prove ourselves not to be enemies of the cross of Christ. By it we avert the scourges of divine justice. By it we gain strength against the princes of darkness, for it shields us with heavenly help. One of the pillars of Lent is almsgiving. According to the Gospel, is not merely philanthropy, rather is a concrete expression of charity, a theological virtue that demands interior conversion to love of God and neighbor, in imitation of Jesus Christ, who dying on the cross gave his entire self for us. God does not hide behind clouds of impenetrable mystery He has shown Himself. He talks to us and is with us. He lives with us and guides us in our lives, says Pope Benedict. Desmond Tutu said once, God places in the world as His fellow workers, agents of transfiguration. We work with God so that injustice is transfigured into justice, so there will be more compassion and caring, that there will be more laughter and joy, that there will be more togetherness in God's world. You are my inspiration and my folly. You are my light across the sea, my million nameless joys, my day's wage. You are my divinity, my madness, my selfishness, my transfiguration and purification. You are my rapscallion fellow vagabond, my tempter and star. I want you, says George Bernard Shaw. As we journey through Jesus in the mountain, listen to Jesus and follow Him. That's the message of transfiguration, says Pope Francis. The glory that shone around the disciples on the Mount of the Transfiguration prefigures the contemplation of God in eternity